everybody. Pals Eddie, Don, and Jim here with you on That Rocks. Thank you for joining us for this special show where we are dropping by to say hello and give you a little update on a few fronts as to the past, the present, and the future of That Rocks. And Jim, Don, what's going on, guys? Jim?
What's going on, man? I like the background. A lot of gold records on those walls.
This is my little home studio action. I got a little first ever gold record back there, White Lion, given to me on stage at Lemoore back in the day.
One looks like a Three Doors Down.
No.
No, I'm not joking. That one in the corner up there to the left up there. I thought that was a symbol.
I got no problem with Three Doors Down, but I don't have a gold record from them.
Okay.
No, maybe Chicken Foot that you're looking at?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Chicken Foot, Buck Cherry, Motley Crue. Yeah, it's always been a big thing. It's quite an honor to get a gold record. And I'm not one of these people that buys them. You know how bands sell their gold and platinum records now? To me, the whole point of getting it is you earned it and the artist felt good enough to give it to you. Every one of mine were given to me without asking, which is very nice, and they mean a lot to me. And unfortunately, you're not going to get them anymore because nobody sells that many records anymore. But actually, I take that back. There's one over here you can't see that I got like this year from Jericho, because the Fozzy had a single for the song Judas that actually became a legit gold single. So he was nice enough to send me a gold record for that, which is, you can't see, it's out of the camera shot, but I guess the way they calculate it now is they factor in streaming and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, they got a whole system now where I don't, it's so confusing, but that's the modern age now. You got to count those streams because probably it's 80% of what the way people listen to music now.
Yeah, I mean, if they would have lowered the standards for getting a gold or platinum record, like instead of $500,000 for gold or whatever, I don't know why my camera's flashing. I'm sorry, but we'll get into that in a second.
We went 3 minutes without a technical problem.
But yeah, I mean, I'll never forget my first one because it was for the White Lion Pride record, and I was the first one they gave, and it was on stage at Lemoore's back in the day. So that one means a lot. There's an Anthrax one next to it. So Trans-Siberian Orchestra is right over there. You can see, but yeah, they mean a lot when you get those. They're very, very cool thing to get. So anyway, Donnie boy, what's going on with you?
I don't know. Not too much. I went in the city last night, saw my buddy Steve Conti, who's a guitar player for Michael Monroe.
Steve.
Monroe. And he has a trio with his brother and another fella playing the drums. They all sing, and they just did a bunch of blues covers and rock covers and stuff like The Who and Stones and Faces and stuff. All deep tracks, man. It was a really fun night. They played almost 2 hours. It's a cool little spot called Carroll Place down on Bleecker, and it was perfect. A 7:00 show, good for old bastards like us. I was home before 11. Nice.
Steve's a talented guy. He plays with Michael Monroe's band. He used to have a band called Company of Wolves.
Yep.
And for a brief time, he played in Billy Squire's band, too, when Billy was active. So,
oh, wow.
Yes, talented guy. That's cool.
Yeah,
You're
man.
braver than me. You still go into New York City from Jersey. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I took the ferry, and I was like, if this would have been at 8:00, I wouldn't have been able to make it because I wouldn't have been able to get the last ferry back. So it was good. And he could sing his ass off too, man. I didn't realize he was such a good singer. And he sings a lot backgrounds for Michael, but he's a great singer too, man. So, and he really played some amazing stuff. Good dude.
Jim, you see any shows in the last week?
No, I haven't seen anything. No, I was just watching that footage of the Power Trip online, watching all the bands and stuff. So just catching up on that.
The AC/DC sounded good.
Yeah. I mean, they played over 2 hours. I mean, people giving them shit about like being old or whatever. Of course they're old, but I mean, to be able to go and do that set for two hours plus and that many songs. And I thought I'm shocked they haven't announced additional shows. I thought they would have by now. I still think they're going to. I'm just amazed they haven't done it already. I thought they'd do it right off Power Trip. I mean, I wonder if they're kind of thinking like how they felt after that show and if they think they could actually hold it together to do it. I mean, but I'm surprised they didn't announce already.
Brian's 76 years old. I didn't know he was that old. That's holy shit.
He just turned 76 a couple days before Power Trip.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, the special, I did a radio special from Power Trip for anybody watching this live on Thursday the 19th. It's going to premiere tomorrow for my show on Sirius XM at 3 o'clock Eastern on 103. And I got Lars, I got Duff McKagan, I got Rod Smallwood, Nico McBrain, I got Ian Hill and Richie Faulkner from Priest. And then I got Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes and Scotty Hill from Skid Row, who were just there hanging out. And I threw them on the air with me for a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't get anybody from AC/DC. They were totally locked down, not doing anything. And Tool, I tried, but they're hard to figure out and just didn't get anybody from them. We tried on both. But yeah, check that special out either on the app or on the air tomorrow if you're a listener.
Oh, cool. I would tell you, I was worried, man, because when they put out that little clip of them in the rehearsal studio, I know it was just a short clip, but I got to say, it did sound old and kind of tired. And I was really worried, like, if this is what they're putting out to get people excited, this is not good. But, I watched some of the clips too, Jim. I thought Brian sounded amazing. I thought the whole band sounded great. A lot of energy, tons of energy. I know it's different in rehearsal. You don't bring the same, you're not giving 100% rehearsal, but why put that clip out there?
Except for Rage Against the Machine, they go 100% even in rehearsal. I asked Morello that on that metal show. He goes, "Oh yeah, because they were showing clips and they were going to do some stadium in LA." He's like, "Yeah, we do it in rehearsal too. We just go all out. We never, like that's beautiful."
Morello don't do anything for 20 years. You got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morello was at Power Trip. I saw him, but I didn't get him in the special. He was running around like in a million directions, and he's actually working on a film thing for Judas Priest that he's co-directing. So he's like in a million directions as usual. And we saw him. I saw him. I talked to him for a little while, and then I was like, "Hey, come on this radio special with me." And he's like, "Yeah, I got to go move my car because his car was going to get towed." So we set up the whole thing, and then we had to leave because Priest was going on, so we had to leave their area. And I never ended up getting him on the special, but of course he's a friend of all of ours, and it's always fun hanging with him. And he's got a lot of different things cooking. He's the man of media these days, like 8 Sirius XM shows and a bunch of different things that he's got cooking, including some stuff that's not even announced yet. So, all right, so we should talk about what we're here to talk about. Of course, we're on here with you guys for the first time ever without a guest scheduled. And we're here to talk about a few different things. First of all, going forward with this show, and you guys, I'll just take it and you can kind of chime in, I guess, the best way to do this. But, first of all, want to address last week with Paul Rogers and that show that you did not see, or you saw if you were watching live, you saw what happened. And then it was up for a little while, and then we decided to take it down because it didn't make any sense to have up. But basically, last week, Paul Rogers was nice enough to give us some time and was booked on the show. And if you saw, he actually was on the show, and you saw him on the screen a few times. But we had technical problems last week that were on Paul's end, something with his audio. We couldn't hear him. And we tried and tried. And if you watched when we were doing it live, we tried everything to hang in there with him. But for whatever reason, his audio was out. It wasn't working properly. And we couldn't hear him. So we had to let him go. Obviously, it would make no sense to have him on and not being able to hear the guy. So we appreciate him trying. We don't know what the issues were. He's in Canada. We don't know if it was something with his internet that day or his microphone or whatever. Clearly out of our control. So that's why that show was removed, because what's the point in a show with Paul Rogers when we didn't get him on? So that's the story on that. And then that got us thinking moving forward here with this, that we just did, I don't know, guys, how many shows? 22, 23 they're up there right now?
Yeah.
Well, minus the Paul Rogers show. And I think the Carmine Apiece show is set to private because, again, same thing. We had technical issues with him as well from his end. Not
Yeah, and
ours.
Paul's stuff went on for like 20 minutes. It wasn't like 2 minutes and he couldn't get on and that was it. We were just waiting and waiting. It was a train wreck, basically. Just trying to get him on the air. Then we heard his voice. We heard his wife's voice. Then we didn't see a picture. So it was a whole mess. So that's why we, so he wasn't on at all. So we're not, that's why we took it down. Because
You saw him, so we had him booked. I mean, he was trying to come through. It's just that we couldn't hear him. And again, we appreciate the hell out of him trying to take the time and wanting to be on it. And of course, the whole thing, we wanted him on. It makes no sense if you can't hear him. And we tried everything. And the thing with the Carmine episode, I mean, that sucked too, because we could hear Carmine. But if you watch that, his audio was terrible and he was bummed out about it. And we were bummed out about it. And look, I mean, we're dealing with some variables here. We all are obviously in different places and our guests are in different places. And I know this from doing radio. I mean, sometimes you talk to a guest and you book a guest and they're totally dialed into doing this stuff. A guy like David Coverdale actually has a studio and he has 2 or 3 kids that work for him. So if he's going to do radio or a Zoom video type thing, he has a whole staff that makes sure it's all working. And when he sits down, it looks good and it sounds good. And that's great if you can do that. And then there's a lot of guys that are just like, oh, yeah, I'll just grab my phone or whatever. And they're in bad coverage areas or their devices aren't working or they're not used to doing it. And it's a train wreck. So there's those variables that exist that are frustrating for everybody. And then, of course, among the 3 of us, we've got variables too, because we all do a bunch of stuff that we're busy in separate areas. We're all in different places. And we're at the mercy of hotel internet, home internet, cameras working, not working. So we've all done the best that we could do with this. And at this point, what we're here to tell you guys for this week is that we're going to stop down for a bit, take a break. We're already into the middle of October. There's only a couple months left in the year. We put out about 20-something shows. They're there online for you to look at and archived. The only ones that aren't there is the Paul Rogers because, again, we could put it up, but it's just us trying to get the audio sorted out with Paul makes no sense. And the Carmine, because you couldn't hear him and he was bummed out about the audio, but everything else is there. And we're going to maintain this channel. We're going to pop on from time to time. We might all come on together individually. If something big happens in rock, we might all just come on to talk about it like we're doing now. And, I'm going to be totally honest with everybody right now. And even to Don and Jim, the shows we've done and us doing this, my favorite part about it has been the 3 of us hanging out even like this. Because we don't see each other as much as we used to just because we're all in a million directions. And we used to see each other all the time, at least once or twice a week. So just getting together like we're doing right now has been fun for me and what I like most, because all these artists I talk to constantly, on my show. But I love doing this. We wanted to do it. We're going to revisit it. We got some other stuff cooking. We got some other ideas, some other things that might happen with this. And we all just decided, given the recent tech problems, given the problems getting stuff lined up with guests remotely, we just decided that we're going to just take a break and doing this for a bit.
Yeah, I think, just let's, regroup and, figure out what we could do going forward. And as Ed alluded to, we're also talking with some other potential, maybe even bigger platforms to do it. So in the meantime, we could regroup, get our shit together, and hopefully get this thing rolling again, so that we, I agree with you, Ed. For me, this is the funnest part of the show, just the 3 of us. But to have a guest and so to not be embarrassed that we can't get the person on the air and all that stuff. If we could get that stuff straightened out and get it going forward in a positive direction, we'll pick it back up again. And yeah, I'm happy to jump on here. I know Jim, you too, man. We'll jump on here and we'll talk about some shit now and again, and we'll put it up on our socials when we do.
Yeah, we'll come on, do some stuff, especially for the members. If you guys want to go as members, we understand. But if you do, we'll definitely put some stuff up for the members. We'll put stuff on the regular channel. Any breaking news in rock or something like that, we'll just pop on. Might be all 3 of us, 1, 2, who knows? Whoever's got, maybe some footage from a concert. We'll keep the channel active, absolutely. And who knows when we're going to be back? But for now, I just think that we just got to figure this shit out. You know what I mean? Because it looks stupid. You know, that we just can't, you know, guys in his car, on his phone, you know what I mean? I get it because they're busy too. So we gotta figure out, but we got a lot of options out there. There's, you know, some stuff brewing. So hopefully it'll be on a bigger and better platform, and, you know, we'll see what going forward, but we'll just take, you know, like Eddie was saying before with a TV show, you know, they could do like 24 episodes or 22, and then they take a break for 8 weeks or 10 weeks or even, you know, 16 weeks and then come back. So it probably won't be that long, but.
We said from the get-go, if you watch the very first show, which was what was the first show? Charlie? I think
Charlie.
Right?
Yeah.
The very, very first show we ever did with Charlie Benanti. I mean, we said right from the get-go, clearly this isn't our old show. We know we can't do that. We know that's not what this is. But what we wanted to do with this was let you know we're all still here, because look, even though Don and Jim are out doing stand-up every weekend and out there doing their various podcasts, radio shows, whatever, me doing my radio show every day, all the stuff we do, we all know there are people that only know us as the three of us together from our old show. So this was a good way to kind of reconnect with all those people and let people know we're still out there, we're still doing stuff, and we still have this desire to do stuff together. But we said from the get-go, in no way were we ever trying to be that metal show or even close to it. We can't, obviously we can't. We're all in different places. And the desire to do that show has never ended. The idea of doing this was actually to let everybody know we're still here and we still want to do that show, and maybe use this as a way to fire up the base again. So, you know, hopefully we've accomplished that. And whether that happens or whether something happens further with this where we can really hone in and do it, because like Don or Jim alluded to as well, and we've all been on the other side of this because we're constantly asked to do other people's YouTube shows, podcasts, and when we have time, we do them. But everyone's on the go. So you have people like a Coverdale who's totally locked in. He's got a studio and all that. And then you got a guy's like, yeah, I'll do it. But he's doing it driving in his car like this on his FaceTime.
Right.
And it sounds and looks like shit. So, and you can't ask people to change their life and buy equipment or everything if they're not like that, because you're just asking them for a favor. So we don't blame those people, but it's going to be so erratic. So unless we can take this into a studio or have it where, you know, we're all in the same place and really build it out, you're going to get that really erratic up and down. And if you've got unusable shows like we've had with Paul Rogers or Carmine, then everyone's just wasting their time. So that's why we're just going to kind of reassess everything and maybe use this channel. We want to keep it active. We'll keep some stuff on here. We'll come on every once in a while, and we just want to use it for, you know, that right now until we see what happens. And like Don mentioned, we got a couple things cooking and some people sniffing around to maybe do something in a studio setting with us, which we're all down for if it works out.
Yeah. So please don't unsubscribe yet. Don't give up on us yet. We'll be back, and we appreciate everybody watching, man. It's been amazing. You know, let's keep the channel active, and we'll let you know via social media what the hell's going on. New Rolling Stones and Blink 182 albums tomorrow.
I didn't know the new Rolling Stones was coming out tomorrow. The first two songs are great.
Really good.
Yeah.
That you know, when I saw Lady Gaga on that song, I forget what it's called, something about heaven, I said, oh geez, here we go again. You know, people trying to crowbar in Lady Gaga, but it's a classic old sounding Stone song where she sort of plays the role of the soulful backup singer. That song is really good, and Mick's voice on that song is absolutely incredible. So, you know, 80 years old and the guy's still bringing it, man. And of course, that the song "Angry" is just, you know, classic rocker from those guys, very old school sounding.
Mr. Adrian Ojeda, my brother who lives in London is hooking me up with tickets for Weezer and Smashing Pumpkins at the O2 Arena, June 2024. Stoked. Yeah, I've never been to the O2 Arena. That's one place I would love to go see a show. Me and Don we've been to Hammersmith before. We saw Motorhead at Hammersmith. That was great, but I'd love to go to the O2. Don and Jim should put their brother on the phone. That's a prank call reference.
Yeah, terrorizing telemarketers. Yeah.
And
Keep
look, just like,
downloading those because we need the income now.
but just like what we talked about, I mean, like, we might just from time to time, all three of us, and we'll let you know, keep an eye on the channel and our social medias. We might just pop on like this and hang out with you guys, answer some questions, talk. I mean, again, I love talking to artists, don't get me wrong, but hanging with Don and Jim, even if it's virtual like this, and hanging with you guys to me is what I actually look most forward to doing this show.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, thanks, Carlos. Yeah, no, I think we'll figure it out. We'll get it together. Hopefully something's brewing, and we'll see. But
yeah, we went 21 minutes here with virtually no tech problems.
How about that? How about that? Of all the shows, the one that it's just the three of us, like rock solid.
Course.
Yeah, I know.
This one.
Don's audio is perfect.
Yeah.
Nothing going on. Everything's great. Everything looks great. Sounds great. Yeah.
Well, because if we had a guest, it would be all messed up.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Which is the problem. Which is what we've got to figure it out. So, yeah. That's anybody else got any other questions or anything before we let everybody get on with it? But that's what we're dropping by to say. So keep an eye on all the outlets, and we'll keep you posted. Ever plan in the Ithaca, Cortland area, Dio Museum.
I was just up there. I was just up in Horseheads, which is very close to Cortland. And yeah, I mean, they have a Dio Street up there, and that would be cool if they could put together something really cool about a Dio museum.
Right. It's when are we getting more terrorizing telemarketers? We released one a little over a year ago, like 13 months ago. So I don't know, maybe another year and a half, something like that, maybe.
No, we're artists. We have to feel it. We just can't pump these out. These take the creative process.
They do. You got to come up with more childish ideas. All right, if I'm on the toilet and Don, you pick up while you're on the toilet.
Yeah.
It takes a while to come up with that shit. So, but no, there will be more.
Yeah, of course.
Jim, I told you, I think you were with me. Yeah, you were with me. We were somewhere in Vegas just recently. I was getting dinner and they came over with the pepper.
Yeah.
And I know that's not terrorizing telemarketers. It's Meet the Creeps. But I to this day, I cannot not laugh when somebody comes over with the pepper mill. I can't not laugh. Like, and everyone's at the table, like, what's funny? What's so fun? And I got to explain it every single time. And what's really crazy is I love spice and I love pepper, and I will always have them load on the black pepper legitimately because I love it. But I can't make them do it for as long as I want because I feel bad because it's in my mind. I can't stop thinking of it.
Well, then you ruin your meal too when they keep doing it. I've done it before. I'm like, when I'm hungry, because everyone looks at me when they go, you want pepper, and the whole table looks at me like, are you going to do it? And sometimes I will. I'll sacrifice the meal for it. But have you noticed though? There's a new Geico commercial, and they ripped the exact bit off.
No.
The guys, they keep coming with pepper. Another guy comes in, and then after that, a guy asks for Parmesan cheese, which is the same exact bit that we did in 2003, where Casey Armstrong is there, and he goes, "Can I get some Parmesan cheese after I do my pepper?" Same exact thing. I don't care. I did it years ago.
We did it first.
But yeah, it's the same bit. I'm getting so many messages. Dude, I finally saw the commercial.
Yeah, I never saw the commercial, but if people don't know what we're talking about, see those DVDs that Don and Jim put out. It's the pepper thing. It just, I can't. I even have to, when I start laughing, I even have to explain to the person bringing the pepper while I'm laughing. I'm like, friend of mine, it's this thing. He kept making him do it. And the guy's always like, well, I don't mind. I mean, however much you need. I go, no, you don't understand. Just cut it. I'll never make them put as much as I really want because I feel bad because it's in my mind. I can't do it.
Next time I'm with you at dinner and then they come around for the pepper, watch. I will do it. But you can't break character. The key is don't laugh because then they think you're messing with them.
I'll get up and walk away. I can't.
No, you can't. You got to commit.
I can't do it. I'll go to the bathroom. I can't do it. I can't.
You got to sit there and listen to the grinding,
I can't.
The crunching of the pepper.
Where were we just in Vegas like a month or two ago?
Yeah, we're Brian Slagle at that place.
And the guy goes, "You want the pepper?" And Jim's at the table with me. I just looked at Jim. I go, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I don't know if Eddie can not break character. I remember one time I farted in the elevator, crowded elevator. I go, sorry for my friend, and I just pointed at Eddie, and he couldn't stop laughing the whole time. I know.
I can't. I'll get up and leave. I can't do it. It's too much.
Don't worry. Jim and I are creeps. We know how to stay in character.
Speaking of Vegas,
so much,
real
Matt.
quick, I just thought of something. Speaking of Vegas, Jim, you see you two added 12 more shows at the Sphere.
Yeah.
Jim and I went to the opening night. That's when we were in Vegas last. They're up to 37 shows now in a place that holds 17,500 people, and they're being paid a minimum of $4 million a night.
That they only have to split 3 ways now because Steve Mullen, or what, the drummer, is not in the band now.
Well, yeah, they probably pay him whatever,
He might still get his taste, though. He might still get his cut, and then they got to pay the hired gun drummer. But
this is the worst time for him to have taken a leave of absence.
he might still be getting his cut if he's still a partner. He might, and they say he might come back actually soon too. He's seeing what's going on. He wants to wet his beak,
I want my cut of Matt Ashford's super chat, by the way.
Bummed but excited to see what you guys have in store in the future. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate
it. We get $1.65 each.
Yeah. Monica, Eddie, is Mick Mars going to take any calls on your show, or are you just interviewing him?
Oh, Monica, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I announced today that Mick is going to premiere his new music on my show on SiriusXM on the 30th, and then on Halloween he's going to call in. I don't know if we'll take calls. I'll ask him if he's okay with that. Generally, I take calls for guests when they're sitting right in front of me, but he's going to be at home in Nashville, and I'm going to be wherever I'm at. So I don't know if we'll be able to conference in calls if he wants to do that. If he does, I'll do the whole show with him. And if he doesn't, then I'll just talk to him. So I really leave that up to the guest.
So he's premiering a new song on your show on the 30th. Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
So he told me a long time ago that when he made his first new music, he was going to let me premiere it. And Mick is a man of his word.
Wow.
And he's been working on this music for 10 years.
Yeah.
And 5-6 years ago, he talked to me about premiering it. And if you remember, he put out little YouTube clips at the time. And now he is fully ready to do it. He's got a team of people working with him on it. And I heard it. I heard the song. I've seen the video. Can't say much more than that because, again, they want to roll it all out. But I'm just super happy that he's finally putting out this music, his first thing ever outside of Motley Crue. And I'm super honored that he's going to do it on my show. So the 30th for the song, and then I guess the video will get released that night. And then the 31st on Halloween, he'll come on and talk about it. And the people that are on the song with him are all people we know. Again, I can't reveal it, but he's had a lot of different people in and out with him working on this record over the years. Some are still part of it, some are not. But all the people that are the core band are all people we know very well. I don't know if he's going to tour because, again, his condition, but that's what we're going to get answers to when he comes on.
No, I'm excited to hear it, man. He's been working on this thing forever. I think it's going to be really good. Terrestrial Experiment. I want more Bobby Fletcher calls. Yeah, that's the guy I did on Crank Yankers. The show's back on the air. It's on Comedy Central, but nobody knows. And I still do Bobby Fletcher on there.
Which is basically just you.
Yeah, it's just my voice, a different name. Billy, thank you guys for bringing the joy in my life with TMS. That rocks. All of us fans will always be here no matter what. Jim, great show, and Kenosha. Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Don, to come to the CNY area again, hook you up with more vinyls. Oh, yes, Stephen, who did give me some Leonard Skinner vinyl. And Eddie, you get CDs.
Good. Where's CNY?
Central New York? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was up when I did the Lita show. That was up in Horseheads.
Matt, yeah, New Rival Sons. I actually have the record. Jay gave it to me a couple weeks ago, and it's. What can I say about that band? I haven't already. They're one of my all-time favorites, and of course, all-time favorites the last 10 years. The thing is Dark Fighter is 36 minutes long, and this new album is 33 minutes long. So you can easily put them together as one record. And the second one is out tomorrow, Lightbringer.
Cool.
All right, good.
I should mention this real quick before we go. Just talking about new releases. Hold on.
I don't want to start no thing.
So I got this. which for people who haven't seen, this is the, of course I picked the CD version, which is my preference, but there it is. So this is the Van Halen box set that has come out with
Sammy.
the Sammy era finally represented. And there's these 5 little mini LP replica jackets and the remastered audio. I thought there might be some new liner notes or some enhanced stuff in here, but there really isn't, but it's still pretty cool. And the other thing about it is there's this, which is this disc right here, which is, if you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, what is it?
It's Van Halen Studio Rarities 89 to 2004. And basically, it's all the Sammy Hagar stuff they did that isn't on an actual record. So there were songs that were like B-sides. There were the song Humans Being, which was from the Twister soundtrack, stuff like that. That's all compiled on one bonus CD. So you get the 4 studio records, and then you get that bonus disc. I was surprised they didn't include the live album with Sammy in here, but they didn't. I know they put that out on vinyl for like Record Store Day. But I also, my other new additions, this new Dokken record, which I haven't listened to yet, but a lot of people have told me is really, really good. I mean, a lot of people have shit on Don with his vocals lately live, but from what I hear on the record, it sounds really good.
The what?
And we had KK on recently. His record is out. So check that show out if you missed it. That's up now. And yeah, so some cool new stuff I got on CD. But that's it. That's the other thing too. I mean, to people watching, the old shows are archived for everybody to watch. And I don't know about you guys, but I still run into people constantly. I have no idea we've been doing this the last 4 or 5 months or so. So as we go, those shows are always going to be there for people to watch. Spread the word, share the links, get the views up on it. That'll help too.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like, basically we did like two seasons of a TV show in a very short amount of time. So yeah, I think the way to look at it is like, yeah, we did 2 seasons. We're going to take a break, and when we come back for season 3, we'll have our shit together, hopefully.
Rob says, Jim, you should visit Rock Fantasy Record Store in New Jersey and play some pinball. I don't even know where that is, Rock Fantasy.
Me neither. Where in New Jersey? What state? What city? I don't know what town is it in.
I would definitely go to. I miss vintage vinyl, so I never go to.
There's a place in Milltown that one of our viewers keeps reminding me of called Revilla Grooves. That's apparently a really kick-ass.
That's near me. I got to check that out. There's also a place in Keyport, the Metal Shop or something. Or I haven't been in there though.
They have more just, they have way more CDs than vinyl, but it's more like collectibles and figurines. And stuff like that. It's not, their selection isn't huge, but yeah, I mean, if you're in a pinch, you can go down there and.
I'll look up that record store. I'll definitely check it out.
If anybody, people in that they're into pinball, and I love pinball. If you ever go to Vegas and you want something to do that's not a casino, there's a great pinball museum there that's just up the street from Mandalay Bay, right on the Strip, and you can't miss it because it just has a giant sign in front that just says pinball on it, and it's this massive building that has machines from like the 30s right up until the brand new machines, like the Iron Maiden machine, I think there's a Foo Fighters machine, the Rush machine, the new Guns N' Roses machine. So if you're into pinball, and I am, that's a great spot in Vegas. I go there often.
All right. Well,
anything else? I think that's it, right?
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right, so everybody keep an eye on the socials. We want to thank our team behind the scenes, Joe and his whole crew, for everything. And we will keep you posted on where we go and what we do and when we'll be back on here on this channel with you and what the future holds as far as this together, all of us. But, of course, we're all going to just keep doing our individual stuff as well, so keep connecting with that. And thank you to those who watched. Thank you to those who subscribed. and hang in there, and we'll see where we go.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. We're also going to learn how to end the show.